You may not like the story. You may not like the Bible. You may not like the name Yahweh. But ask yourself, does the story at least have a God who has always existed and who's exemplary in character? And he can't commit fornication with mortal women like some of your gods. What he does is he makes everything. Then he is the one who sustains everything.
Well, you said the story exists in what?
Say what?
You said something about something existing in the story or something.
I'm saying when I say story, I mean the narrative of Scripture.
Right. I'm trying to figure out what you said. You're going fast. I'm trying to take notes.
Has a God at the center who has always existed,
right.
And therefore he can be the ontological grounds for such important concepts such as truth. Now, I'm okay with getting a little philosophical because when he's emphasizing the concept of truth, then you have to get a little into philosophy. And that's okay to do.
Right.
That's okay to do because the Greeks stole philosophy from you, right? So he should like philosophy. So check this out. Now, when we talk about truth,
did the Christians.
We talk about truth. Now, in the Old Testament, the word is emet. And that's where Emmitt Smith got his name from. It's based on that Hebrew word truth. When we talk about it in the Old Testament, that concept truth. Emmett, like Emmitt Smith, Emmett Till. It's truth. Okay. It's a Hebrew word. Now, when you understand truth is a value, the question is, why is it a value? It's a value because it's part of the very character and nature of God. And since we praise and adore and worship and love God, the one true God, we worship and adore his characters. And since we worship and adore who he is, his characteristics, we want to emulate and imitate it. That means we want to be people of truth. And that's why one of the 10 commandments that follows out of the first commandment is, thou shalt not lie. The reason why that's in there is for that very reason of who it's based upon, God's holy nature and character. So he's talking about apologists not liking truth and all this. I'm going to come back at a deeper level, to be honest with you. Instead of anecdotal, here's how apologists act, here's how their fans act. My deeper level to challenge Shakka on, and I know he's a smart guy, so I think he'll have something important to say.
Thank you.
And I love to hear what you got to say.
Oh, you will.
The deeper challenge is what in his worldview does he ground the all-important concept of truth on in the first place? Because it ain't none of his gods. It can't be himself because he knows he's been wrong before, just like I have. So we're not the grounding of truth. So what's the grounding of truth? What makes the concept of truth possible? Because if we're going to say that's a highest value in our system, we can't have the tool without explaining the origin of the tool. Mine is rooted in nature. Mine is rooted in God's nature. What is your concept?
He said his is rooted in nature, and then he said mine's rooted in God's nature.
Yeah.
I want you to notice he said nature first.
Yeah, the nature of God. The nature of God. That's the whole point.
Wait a minute, hold on. You said it's rooted in the nature of God?
Yeah, God's nature. If it was rooted in nature, that would still be God because he's the one who made it.
Okay.
We don't have a nature. We don't have a godless nature. It's not just there because we believe in what's called the principle of sufficient reason.
Can I respond? Because